I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're speaking to Dr. Richard Saracen. He is on a mission to tackle childhood obesity. He was inspired by his daughter's desire to achieve a flatter tummy during her dance recital, and he created an innovative program that defies conventional notions and expresses them in his book that is called Who Said You Can't Have Ice Cream for Dinner? Not Me. Through his book, the doctor empowers children and their parents with insights on maintaining healthy body and self-image while combating the epidemic of childhood obesity. We're delighted to have Dr. Rick join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Pro Isle Publishing for helping us put him in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel. Doctor, thank you so much for being our guest today on Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
Such a great title. I imagine kids seeing it at the bookstore or online would be intrigued by it. Who said you can't have ice cream for dinner? Not me. Tell the folks at home what the book is all about.
Well, the book is about trying to enable the child to be able to combat being overweight. It doesn't even have to be to the point of obesity. Right. And you wanted to get to them to be able to control it before it gets out of hand, which in many Americans and around the world today, it's a major problem. But I'm trying to do it with kids and to help them so that they can. It empowers them. It will stop bullying. It will stop. They'll feel good about themselves. Exactly. And that's really the whole reason. I mean, I started out with my daughter, and with having success with that, I was like, we have to help kids.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a crazy time. I remember when I was growing up, we had maybe one kid in the class who was overweight. But nowadays, it seems more kids are overweight than are at their ideal body weight. A lot of it, I guess, has to do with processed foods, a lack of activity because they're spending too much time on this rather than running around the neighborhood like you and I used to do.
Right.
So what is the secret? What is your best advice to parents and children?
Well, my best advice, and I had to accept it right away when I did my research and was doing everything to try to come up with this program that would help my daughter, was that we have to accept as parents or guardians that it doesn't mean you're a bad parent. You just don't have all the information. And the way I did this, now, I was in an office for 20 years, so I came across a lot of families and stuff, and they would say, "Oh, doc, what can I do, to help my kid lose weight?" And we only know one thing, and that's, to put them on a diet. And they don't even use that word anymore. It was just to bring them down, or they just have the baby weight and stuff like that. And I took a lot of different things over a lot of years and put them all together to get so that they could lose the weight right away. But you have to accept that, give your child a chance, let them see. And that's what I tried to do in a fun way, a challenging way, and to help them. And they could take it right into adulthood.
Exactly. So ice cream for dinner is okay every now and then. Is that part of the message?
Well, I started out with, I didn't even have a title for the book. Yeah. But what I did is I developed basically a 20-day program. And just basically what would happen is, in the end, after that 20 days, they would be able to see why, if they were having dessert, have it for dinner, meaning time-wise. Right. See, this whole thing was put together not by the foods that you eat and everything else that's out there. It's about when you eat it and the proteins, the starches, the sugars, when you have them, and to use them up during the day so that you don't store them. And again, by using all the electronics and the kids don't run around or play or whatever, after that ice cream for dinner or whatever is you're going on, have dinner later. And what that does is, because so many people in America, whatever, you know, two parents, they have to be working. So when they come home, they got to get the kid. I got to get the kids fed. So let me do it as fast as I can and do that all the time. And so they take some easy ways out. They put it together. This way, let them go outside, let them play, let mom or dad or whoever does the grandma or grandpa, however it works for them, and let them prepare some food at night. And then that's the last thing that the kids eat.
Yeah.
And that way, all the protein, you want the food to be is your fuel.
Right.
So you only need fuel for the that day. There's no more, drink all of this, eat all of this, and you'll grow bigger and stronger.
Right.
It's not the way.
So don't clean your plate. That's what my mom would always say to me, clean my plate.
Right.
Exactly. Although I was a skinny kid that the doctor said have a milkshake with every meal. So I guess I'm an anomaly.
Yeah. Well, it's all based on, the kid's metabolism. And it really came to what you were saying. You were a skinny kid, but you were going out running around. Yeah. I put in a little excerpt in a book, like we had me, my brother, and my sister. And we would all sit down at dinner, 5, 6 o'clock, whenever dad came home, and we would all have the same thing, and we would have to clean our plate, right?
Right.
And me and my brother might go out in the back and play basketball. My sister, maybe she goes upstairs and plays with dolls.
Right.
Well, she doesn't need as much food or fuel to do that than me and my brother. So why is everybody eating the same amount?
Right.
So this is a way that the kids could eat as much as they want, but you really and put it when the times that they can, but they stop because they burn it all up. And that's what you need to do. You need to burn it up. Exactly.
Portion control is very, very important. Like you said, some kids might need a lot to go into football practice. Other kids don't need as much. Encouraging exercise and activity. We try to protect our kids, I think, and shield them so they're safe from strangers out there. But because of that, we've created a whole generation of kids who are shut-ins.
Yes. Yeah. And then you throw in the electronics and you throw in all that stuff that they do. I notice even around here and where I go, you don't see the kids out at the basketball court running around town on their bikes. Kids playing, and that's what most of the the illustrations in the book is to just give them ideas. Go and play. You don't have to. Exercise is playing for kids. They don't have to go on a 2-mile run or a walk or something like that. Go out and be kids.
Right. And you'll do that. I mean, you'll run the 2 miles playing stickball, or you'll walk through the woods for 1.5 miles, or you'll ride your bike. But we really have raised a generation of what I call invisible children, because in my neighborhood, where there is very little traffic and there is country roads and fields, you don't see kids. Back in the day, we were tearing it up, hide and go seek, King of the Hill, all of that stuff. And now it's all electronic and virtual, and we're paying the price. You have kids that have antisocial behavior because of it, a lack of, close friends because of it. And then physically, they're paying a price because they're eating too much for their activity level.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a great book. It's great advice. If you were to say to parents 3 things, a parent comes into you, little Johnny is overweight, he's already getting the muffin top over his jeans. What would your best advice be?
Well, my best advice, and I was just talking about this not too long ago, is that you got to accept that if you see your child is moving up in the percentile when they go get their with their pediatricians, and you notice the things, don't put a shirt over it and forget about it. There's a way now that you can help your own kid. And so don't be so like a mama bear or papa bear that somebody is it's a dicey subject. I understand that. But in my book is to help the kids, and to help the kids is to help the parents. Yeah. And that's what I'm trying to do is just accept your little boy or little girl that they might need help, because when they look in the mirror, they see something or they see an image, and they don't know why they are that way. Right. So to give that self-esteem and build them up, you got to be a parent and help them also.
Absolutely, absolutely. Plus the impact of diabetes that is skyrocketing.
Oh, yes.
Heart disease, even in young people. So it's all great advice. It's in a very approachable book that you can share with your child. It's called Who Said You Can't Have Ice Cream for Dinner? Not Me. In it, the doctor shares his best advice to parents on children on how to maintain a healthy body weight and a healthy body image. Dr. Richard Saracen, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, the pleasure is all mine. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.